Hi there, I thought it was time that I did an update video on my Planet X AC130 disc. It's a while since I've done one and I've made a few changes to it, which I've talked about in previous videos. First change that I've got this season, I switched and put a pair of gravel bars on. They're pretty wide as well, they're 44s. These are the Ritchie Evo curves, and due to the shape of them, they're 44 at the top on the hoods. But at the bottom they're actually closer to 47, they're super wide. But I do find them amazingly comfortable. They're light, they're stiff, they're rigid, and the angle of the levers at the side just makes them a lot easier to get to. So I've been really pleased with those. The other big thing which I've talked about for quite a long time is changing the wheels. And I wanted to put a deeper section, more aero set of wheels on, preferably carbon. Previously I had some sort of budget mind Miche wheels which were alloy. They were about 30mm depth on the rim, I think. And do you know what, for a cheap wheel set they rolled pretty well. When I got on the bike after the winter, you know, there was a big difference compared to the Boardman CX that I've set up as a winter bike. However, these are the Vision Sc55s, and they're set up with tubeless. So if I can move the camera a little bit, hopefully you'll be able to see a bit more. They look pretty damn good, which of course is important. I've got to be honest, I don't have masses of experience of wheel sets, in particular more sort of expensive wheel sets. The closest thing I've got really, I've got ProLite Vicenzas on my time trial bike at the back there, and those rims are quite a bit deeper, they're narrower, but they're perfect on a TT rig. So that's probably the closest I've got to a set of real sort of performance wheels, but these are a different class again. So they are quite a wide rim. I think the width across the top is 19 between the top of the rim, and then the widest part they're about 27.5, I think, and then obviously 55 depth. So the theory being that there should be a lot more aero, and I'll come to that in a minute. These are set up with Vittoria Corsa tubeless. So it's the first time I've run tubeless as well. These are 30mm wide. Now, I was a little apprehensive. I wasn't sure that I'd get away with 30mm tyres. If I move the camera around, you should be able to see there is still quite a bit of clearance. There's about 5 to 6mm on all sides at the front, so they certainly fit in. And I've ridden it a couple of times now, there's certainly no flex, there's no movement. And then you can see hopefully at the back there, it's the same. You get about 5mm either way. There's plenty of clearance, plenty of room. It probably looks snugger than it actually is. And you know, I've ridden it a couple of times and they've been absolutely fine. So I was hoping that it would, you know, really change the performance of the bike, and I think it has. I've ridden it a couple of times now, once on a steady ride and once on a route where I was really giving it the beans, probably about an hour 10 worth. The difference between those and the cheaper wheels is, the first thing I noticed was they're really, really smooth now. I think that's the tubeless tyres, and because they're quite wide, it can feel a little bit draggy. What I can't get my head around is the pressures you run tubeless at. So I had these at 70 psi, but you can obviously go an awful lot lower. To my mind, that's going to increase the contact patch of the tyre, and it's going to become wide to the point that it's making it feel even more laggy. I like a really lively ride. I normally ride tyres and tubes 90 at the back and 80 at the front. Weight wise I'm about 76 kilograms, and that seems to work really well for me. I don't mind if the bike's bouncing around a bit, I like it to be quite lively. With these on, it's super smooth. In terms of speed, I must admit, when I rode them, you don't get that sense that they are ridiculously fast, and maybe that's masked by the tubeless, I don't know. But I did find on the ride that I went really hard on that it rolled really smoothly, but there were sections of road that are pretty flat and they're long and they're straight, and I seem to be able to hold a higher sort of average speed for longer with these wheels. The only thing I can put it down to is the wheels. In terms of differences, I ride the same route quite a lot. A couple of weeks ago I rode it with the previous wheel setup, and within 5 watts, the same power as I did yesterday when I went hard on it, and I was a minute and a half quicker. So to my mind, that has to really come from the wheels in some way, shape or form. There were a few more hold-ups, there were some temporary lights, but in terms of moving speed, I was a minute and a half faster, and I actually did a personal best on that route as a solo. So, you know, I've been really pleased with them. Obviously, I'd like to try them on some longer rides and things like that. The fact that they're so smooth bodes well for that. I am tempted, because they came with those tyres on, to perhaps switch to 28s. I think I'll wear these in, and once they're shot and they're done, then I'll be tempted to go down to 28s. I don't know. I've got some 28s sitting in the shed that I can put on and run them with tubes, so I can get that higher pressure feel as well and just see what that's like. And then I may well take the plunge and go with tubeless up to you know, and run them maybe up to about 70 psi, but slightly narrower with 28s. These tyres, I've just put a micrometer on them as well. They do come up almost exactly at 30 millimeters in width. So the wheels feel super stiff. I do notice a difference in braking and certainly in cornering. The bike really feels like it corners a lot more. It feels a lot more confident in the corners, a lot more sure-footed. Again, that could well be down to tyres, but I think the wheels have got something to do with that then. So yeah, I'm really pleased with them. I'm looking forward to riding it over the summer. Now the spring's here, yay, and we can get out in the sunshine. It'll be nice to get it on some of the chain gang rides, shorts and t-shirt out, and really like the afterburners and see how it goes. So I hope that's of some use. 30mm tyres on a Planet X EC130, and certainly the aero benefits of the Vision Sc55s, which so far, initially, I'm really pleased with. So feel free to comment and let me know what you think. Cheers!